Hello everyone, it's Gareth Smith from the Franchise Tag, and I'm back here on Radio Row with another special guest. We have Doc Blevins from the UFL. So obviously the UFL is coming back for another season. How excited are you for this season?
Well, I think the UFL is a great product. The TV and media exposure has been great for the league, and it gives players an opportunity to try to get in the NFL or get back to the NFL. So I'm really excited about it. I watch it. I played in the XFL, the first go around, the first variation of it. So I've always been interested in the spring leagues. So I'm really excited to see what happens in March, when they kick off.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is obviously this is a chance for some players to, in effect, maybe try and revitalise that career again. You may have those players who may have either been on NFL rosters and may have fallen off, or may have just been like practice squad players who haven't quite. How important is leagues like this for developing and also highlighting these players?
I think it's, tremendous because it gives them a chance to develop. Some of these guys that come in the NFL, they're not quite ready for the NFL. They need more time to play, more time to develop, and this is what this league is. It gives them that time, it gives them that opportunity to get real NFL coaching and to develop into an NFL caliber player if they have the ability to.
And obviously, being one of the coaches as well, how much do you enjoy moulding these players to try and potentially obviously we've had some experience with the players who have gone on to NFL rosters like Turpin, whether it be over at Dallas, or some of the kickers who've made it in. How excited are you to help kind of develop these potential guys that you may see, and how proud are you if they do make those NFL rosters?
Well, I think that's the whole goal is development. I think that's it. No matter what league you're in, NFL, which I've been in, for years, it's all about how do you develop players.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key to all of it. No matter where you're at, you're in college, you're in high school, pee-wee ball.
Yeah.
How do you develop the players? Do you make them better from the start of the season to the end of the season? I think that's key in all of that.
And obviously, I don't think we can talk about the UFL without the fans, because some of those fan bases are absolutely amazing. The ones over in St. Louis particularly, and also, to be fair, my personal favourites are the Beer Snakers over in DC.
The Beer Snake is pretty cool. I got to give it to them. That's the most creative, thing that ever happened. They actually make money off the beer, and then they stack up and save the cups. It's genius.
Ideal way to recycle afterwards, because all events with that.
I just want to know what they do with the snake after the game's over with. Who gets to take it home?
I'll tell you what, as well, when you just see there seems to be a real determination to try and get high up the stands as they can as well, which is impressive. So, how have you found the fans embracing the UFL?
It's been good. I think the TV numbers prove that. I think everybody's excited about that. I think this year is going to be a little different because you have a whole year to kind of promote the league. Or last year, it came on the scene in January, basically, and then they started it early March or mid-March. So I think this year is going to be better. There's going to be more fan engagement live at the ballpark. So I think it's going to be a really good deal because the numbers are there when it comes to TV. It's just getting them up to the stands.
And it's obviously some of the teams, obviously fan bases, are already there, and I think you will see it grow on. And obviously as the product gets better and better, you will see you'll see people flock into those games, which is impressive to see. Obviously the NFL has been quite cheeky with stealing one of your rules with a kick return. Is there any other rules you wish they would adopt?
You know what? I think that's really the best one. I do think the replay with the officials being able to talk back and forth, I think that's a good one with everything that's going on, and you get some transparency in the game. But I really do like the kickoff rule. I think the NFL got that right. I think the UFL's got it right. I would love to see college go to it. So those kids, when they come into the NFL, they can have exposure to it, and you don't have to teach it from square one. And the numbers show that it's a safer play now. You got more returns. You get, longer returns. I think it's been 7 returns for touchdowns this year as opposed to 4 the previous year. So I think that's a great rule, but I would love to see transparency in the replay booth.
Particularly bearing in mind, obviously, with how fans get behind these conspiracies. You always find those people who with the tinfoil hats on believe every conspiracy theory out there and believe it's scripted and all the rest of it. That would definitely get rid of that if you could hear the refs actually justify the rationale. They might not agree still, but at least if they hear the rationale as to why they've made that decision, that can't be a bad thing. I'll be honest, the one I wish they would take is the 4th and 12, is it?
The onside?
Yeah, the onside kick. Because the onside kick is dead now, isn't it? Because you have to go, we're doing it, and then everyone goes, okay, and they all get lovely and compact. I think I wish they'd do that, because the momentum, we saw that in a few games. I know in the XFL, I've seen it in the UFL. The momentum that can generate if you make that can be game changing.
San Antonio, they beat Memphis last year, going for a 4th and 12 early in the season, and it just kind of changed the game. If you go back to the XFL, when it was actually the XFL, St. Louis, they played San Antonio and beat San Antonio it was actually the first game of the season 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, where they were down all game, they scored, they get the 4th and 12 or 4th and 15, whatever it is, then they go down and score, and they actually win the game. So
again, and also that super challenge as well, I think, is an interesting one, because it definitely would stop all these people could challenge some of the flags that they don't agree with. Again, that's something that is in the UFL, but the XFL was always originator in some of the stuff. Some of the angles we now come to expect day in, day out in the NFL now originated at the original product of the XFL back in the day. So how cool do you think it is working for, in effect, a league that could be more or less there to trial things that will make this sport that we all love so much better?
Well, that's what I think the greatness of it is when the leagues can work together. Hey, we can try this in the spring, see if it can work in the fall. You know, and you get a kind of experimental thing going. I really think that's good with the partnership that they have in the technology, and you know, and be able to try things in the spring league, see if it works. All right, then we'll take it to the $1 trillion business of the NFL. So I really think that's a really good partnership between the league and the technology piece between the two leagues. And
obviously, the NFL's gone global these days. I think Australia's got announced the other day. I'm from the UK, as you can tell by this dodgy accent. We we have our games. There's the German games, the Spanish game. There's obviously rumours about games in Ireland and all the rest of it. Do you hope eventually the UFL will start going international and bring games to fans internationally as well?
I do. I don't think it'll happen because of the resources. The NFL is a different beast than any other sports league out there. You know, you got the NBA, you got the NFL. It's different when you're comparing the G League to the NBA. It's different when you're comparing the UFL to the NFL. So the resources just aren't there. So I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. But it's going to take some time if it does happen.
And obviously there's already talks of expansion. How exciting is that for you to think there could be new cities, new teams to pick up against?
Well, I think it's going to be good. I think anytime you can grow the sport is good. And it gives more opportunities, more jobs for coaches, players. So any type of growth, I'm all for.
And obviously I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the game coming up here. In the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Who's winning and why?
Well, I think the game is going to be low scoring. I don't think we'll get the 38-35 game we had a couple of years ago. I think we're talking about a 24-20 type of game. But who's going to win? This is just my take on it. Whoever has the ball last is going to win the game. Like, now, if you're Philly, you don't want Mahomes to have it.
No, you definitely don't want Mahomes to have it.
He's got a history of scoring on the last play or the last drive. But I do think whoever has the ball last is going to win the game.
Perfect. Obviously, thank you very much for your time today. It was an absolute honour. Thank you so much for coming to speak to me today. And obviously, please do check out the UFL. Make sure you get your tickets on UFL.com. And obviously, the season tickets were ridiculously well priced. So if you are travelling over from the UK to the US, or if you're watching this in the US, make sure you go support the UFL this year. And thank you very much.
Thank you much.
Thanks so much.